everyone and welcome to another video. I am here, as you can see, by their brand new state-of-the-art dyno cell at Cooksport. My car's actually next door on the ramp. I'm here to get my suspension and handling modifications fitted, as well as their fast road geometry setup. So let's catch up with Mike and see what we're getting fitted. Okay, so I'm joined here with Mike from Cooksport, and it's the end of the day. We've got everything fitted. Not too many problems we've run into, is there, mate?
No, it's been pretty straightforward. Quite a lot of components have gone onto the car today, so
cool.
Hoping you'll see a benefit from them.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. So we're at the front of the car, so we may as well start there. So can you just go through with what we've added so far today?
Yep, so we'll start with the bottom ball joint. It's just a new white line product they're doing. To give you a bit more camber and caster, but along with that, because of the height difference, they've actually given you spacers for the steering rack, which are installed that you can quite see them.
Cool.
But that will actually raise the steering rack up a little bit, so at mid-corner, when you're in the bump, it won't unsettle the steering as much as what it would do if they weren't there.
Awesome.
On the inside, we've got black polybush there and caster bush spherical bearing on the back.
And that's their anti-lift kit, isn't it?
Yes.
So we've gone for the setting that gives you more beneficial to less axle tramp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So the way we've done it is we've set it in the setting that will actually help put the power down. It won't, tramp with the bottom arm.
Awesome.
You can put it the other way, but that just more or less helps aiding under braking. But it's more beneficial to have it on top,
Cool.
personally.
Nice. Yeah, with a front wheel drive,
Yeah.
like 30N, it's kind of prone to giving the axle tramp.
Exactly. And then we've got a adjustable anti-roll bar fitted, along with adjustable drop links. They're not actually completely fitted yet because they'll have to be adjusted when it's on the flat patch, which
Cool.
we'll do later. Nice little Powerflex bush for the dog bone mount, lower engine mount, just to stop the engine rocking so much, stiffen it all up a little bit. And then most importantly, the eye-back lowering springs, which we fitted as well.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what this looks like because the stock height is quite high, isn't it?
Yes.
Cool. So if we move to the back of the car, similar kind of setup we've gone for, isn't it?
Yeah. So on the back again, we've got a adjustable anti-roll bar with adjustable anti-roll bar links. The rear has actually been set to a stiffer setting on the roll bar itself. Now that's per customer request. He likes the rear end to be a bit more lively than others, but that's the benefit of having an adjustable drop link, is that everything can be adjusted per what the customer requires, what the car requires as well.
Awesome.
And obviously the lowering springs on the rear as well.
Cool. So what we've got left to do is just a bit of geo setup.
Yeah. So we're going to put a fast road setup on there for you. So it will be a little bit different than what comes out the factory. But obviously working on your previous one and a couple of other ones, we kind of have a nice setup going on these.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see what it's going to handle like when everything's done and finished. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
been a couple of weeks since visiting Cook Sport and having everything fitted, what with Christmas and trying to dodge COVID like I'm in the Matrix. But it's probably been a good thing. It's given me a couple of weeks to get used to the car and for everything to bed in. Oh, another i30N. Oh, fun! And giving me a bit more time to get used to the differences. If we start with the IBAC springs, which is supposed to be a 15mm drop all round, and at the rear it probably is about 15mm, but on the front it's definitely more. It's probably about 20-25, and it kind of gives a rake, a nose down. If you look at like a Red Bull F1 car, they run the nose down, not comparing the car to a Red Bull F1 car by the way, but it gives the nose down, rear end look raised. But to be fair, it suits me because I do have people in the back, and it gives me a bit of leeway to have the extra weight in the back before you start hitting the bump stops. If you want something like an H&R spring, it does sit low and flat. Everything's very level, but you do tend to start hitting the bump stops if you get the car loaded up. But they've made a difference. It's aesthetically so much better than the stock springs. But what I find is most important, and what people do ask, is the difference between the stock springs and the IBAC springs in ride quality is minimal. If you jumped in a car with the stock springs and then jumped in one with IBAC springs, if you got asked to compare without knowing which car you were in, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It was shockingly surprising how nice the ride is on the IBAC springs, especially with the new setup. See, I don't remember my previous i30N being that much different, but this really had made no difference in the ride quality for the IBAC springs to the stock springs. So if we move on to what I find, what I think is the most important, the Whiteline products, I've got the 24mm front anti-roll bar and the 22 rear anti-roll bar, with the uprated drop links as well. The lateral grip is just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. There is minimal body roll mid-corner, and when you put them hand in hand with the anti-lift kit in the front lower control arm, as well as the bump steer correction kit, it's just incredible. The anti-lift kit gives you 0.5 degree extra caster on the front end, and the bump steer control rectifying kit gives you increased camber. So mid-corner, it just goes exactly where you want to go. And today, typically, British winter, it is very greasy, a bit wet. So again, it's probably a good thing for the video because we'll have a bit of a play in a minute when we get to my favourite bit of road. And we'll be able to see how much grip this actually gives. So we're just now on one of my favourite bits of road, which I filmed with Hampshire Photography the other day. So we're in N Custom, which is everything on N mode apart from suspension, because British roads are just horrendous, especially this one. And we're in auto, just for the sake of the video. Right, so let's have a little bit of a play. Ooh. So straight away, it just doesn't lose traction at all. Even under braking, it's just... And there's just minimal washout. Like, you're halfway through the corner, you apply the throttle, you've got steering angle on, and it just grips and goes. Which in a front wheel drive car, you apply the throttle with a bit of steering angle on, especially in conditions like this, and it washes out, it just understeers, you just lose traction. Where with this, which I think is mainly down to the anti-lift kit, it just grips and goes. And under braking, it's just so stable. There's just so much grip. It just gives you so much confidence in the car. Just the traction is just so good. again, I'm just, like I was talking about, just, there's no washout at all. Even in these conditions, it's just so much grip. I can't imagine what this will be like on a track day in summer with some semi-slicks on. It will just be phenomenal. You just turn, it grips, and it just goes. And it's not uncomfortable. It's not uncomfortable at all. I know there's some theory behind, as soon as you add anti-roll bars, you lose some of the comfortability, but you don't at all. It's just so forgiving. It is just astonishing how much grip everything that I've just added gives you. It's an already capable car out the box. It's a very impressive, capable car out the box. But you bolt this stuff on and it's just phenomenal. Phenomenal. It's just so impressive. In these conditions, just mind-blowingly impressive. I can't portray on camera how much grip this car has now. It is crazy. Absolutely crazy. So now suspension handling mods are done. What's next? In a couple of weeks, in fact it's under 2 weeks now, I'll be taking the trip down to Courtenay Sport where I'll be having a remap. Before that, we're going to try, I've been speaking to Dan at RPM Performance, going to try and get their new Sport Cat downpipe on with their flex pipe and their GPF delete before it goes in for mapping. Just get all the GPF lights mapped out and just try and make the most of the exhaust mods before mapping takes place. But then after that, a few weeks after that, it'll be going down to Forge to have their development. So some of the stuff will transfer straight over to the facelift. Some will need a bit of tweaking because the cooling system is different in the front end, and there will be new products that will suit the DCT car as well. So yeah, if you like the video, please give it a like. And if you want to see what's coming up next, please remember to subscribe. Cheers, and I'll see you next time.